of it. There are, however, to my knowledge, no released contracts to see what the actual all-in costs, including installation and maintenance, are. And so you will also hear the counter-arguments that the all-in costs of solar thermal are comparable to or greater than the all-in costs of solar photovoltaics. I don't think anybody knows for sure the answer to that because, PG&E won't release it. Nobody releases their costs for solar thermal all-in installations. The most optimistic costs so far are about 15 cents a kilowatt hour. And just to calibrate you, coal-fired electricity is probably roughly 5 cents a kilowatt hour. Okay, so 3 times more. And the growth of this industry is all, right now, completely driven by a combination of subsidies and regulations that say you have to do X percentage by X year. And some of them even have solar carve-outs. Not only must you be X percentage renewable electricity, but some fraction of that must come from solar. And so then utilities just do cost trades and siting trades as to whether or not they're going to do photovoltaics or solar thermal. If you don't have access to good sites in the Sun Belt, then you have to go to photovoltaics that are cost advantaged when you don't have direct beam insulation. If you do, then the trade is a little bit trickier. And then you have a disadvantage on large solar farms like this in that you have to build transmission lines to get to them, and people don't like that, and it's $1 million a mile to build a transmission line. Okay? And the same, you have arguments to try to get one into the California desert, and then people say we are going to make renewable energy where we're going to endanger species, which has some merit, but, everything will have to have trades. The scale trade here is pretty simple. You want to get that 3 terawatts I showed you? You have to install one of these every single second for 50 straight years. Okay? Scale getting you again. That's why I believe that a lot of the advances here are going to be in robotics and mechanization, and that even if the cost comes down, we're never going to make a whole lot of energy this way anytime soon unless we figure out how to scale them and get them installed and pointed toward the sun in a way that a bunch of people don't have to do. We hear about clean jobs, that's great, but if you did this at scale, we wouldn't have enough people to have enough jobs to really try to install them fast enough. There are, in addition to just heating up salt, schemes on the board to actually make fuel.